Well, he was best known for creating Def Jam records and pioneering hip-hop music back in 1984. But since then, he has become a major entrepreneur and philanthropist. And now he's the star of his own show on Oxygen, running Russell Simmons. Good morning, Mr. Russell Simmons.
Good morning.
We love having you here, and you have just achieved such success and skyrocketed to the top. What is it like to have Forbes magazine call you one of Hollywood's most influential celebrities and entrepreneurs?
You know, I go to work every day, and I do the best I can in many areas. I have a lot of talented people who really deserve all the credit. I'm kind of like the glue, and I think you'll see this on the show. There's so many people that go to work.
Right.
And so for me, it's very nice. It's kind of a tribute to them and how talented they all are.
Right.
So the show is really, you'll see, I mean, there are hundreds of employees, and there's these girls in the inner office who have a bird's eye view of everything that goes on and help me to execute. They're my arms and legs, right?
Right, well, you're
so
the
that's
face.
what the show's about, and that's really, I'm kind of the face, yeah.
Yes, and everyone sees you and knows your name, but there really is a team that makes it all happen, and that's why it's so nice to have a show to show that, for people to understand that it doesn't just happen with one person. Did you ever imagine that you would have
a lot of
kind
talented people?
Well, yeah, I mean, the success that you've had, it's incredible. Did you ever imagine, you grew up in Queens, right?
Yes.
Did you ever imagine
I want to say this to you. I mean, I can tell you that success is happiness. I mean, you learn that, no matter what state. When you get my age, you learn that.
So
and
great.
So I was always a pretty happy person. I don't take the perks as anything too special. And I try to take the valleys as anything too special either, So I go to work. I'm a good servant in some cases. In some cases, I'm not. But the show kind of shows a little bit of everything. It's about the animal rights, things I care about the gay rights, about the violence in the communities, about the political and social things that matter to me. It's about my businesses, which I never talk about these days. Usually I'm on TV. It's about, a lot of the philanthropic endeavors or social endeavors. So It's kind of a fun, rounded look at all the work that goes on in my office. And even when I sit back and look at it, I'm kind of amazed at, how talented the people around me are and how much burden I put on them and how they handle it.
Oh, well, you're involved in so many different industries. Like you said, there's music, there's fashion, there's jewelry, there's finance, TV, film. I mean, there's so much. How do you find a way to just center yourself and keep up with all of this?
A lot of yoga and a lot of prayer you'll see on the show, and you'll see a lot. I make practice every single day, and I hopefully I'll inspire. Like I'm working and trying to get more kids to meditate in schools and principals to accept that, a little yoga and meditation goes a long way, where they don't have gym classes. And so I'm trying to do that, and that's on the show a lot.
Okay.
So that's how I keep cool. I practice daily.
And you practice what you preach.
I practice what I preach. Right. My brother was a preacher. He said MTV was his pulpit.
Really? I like that.
That's what he said. MTV was his pulpit. And I thought, well, Oxygen's I can't say pulpit, really, because I'm a yogi, not a priest. So there's a lot of fun, edgy stuff that happens in the office as well. I mean, not that other stuff's not fun, but a lot of it's questionable.
Well, oxygen, breathing, it all ties
by myself and others.
Right. Well, you can tie that in together. It's kind of a play on words. And what is it like for you having...
I don't know. The Bad Girls as a lead-in is kind of funny. I'm sorry?
Well, your life is on display. I mean, it is. It's for everybody to see. What is that like for you, that whole invasion of privacy?
I don't know. I've written a book already. I took every drug you could possibly ever take. There's no drugs left that I didn't take. I did everything you could possibly do. I'm not in jail. I'm lucky. I've been... For 20 years, I've been, pretty sober. And for 10 years, I've been a vegan. Again, I don't like to eat any animal, dairy, egg, and anything that causes harm to the environment or to the animals or to myself. So I live a different life now, but I mean, I'm not embarrassed by anything I've done. And there's some things I do now that people think are like shocking or bad, or, but I'm comfortable with my life and I don't mind sharing it.
That's fabulous. And now you're also a Goodwill ambassador for the United Nations. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm an ambassador for the United Nations. There's 27 million modern-day slaves, more slaves now than any time in the history of the world. And people are not aware of it. And I took on the post as a Goodwill ambassador in the UN so that I could build a memorial first for the transatlantic slave trade victims, which is very, very important. And that America and the world can walk in and see that and remember. to remember that how important that is, to keep it in mind when if you walk in and you're from Ghana or from Cambodia and you say, oh, look what happened to those Africans, and you think, oh no, there's slaves in my country now.
Wow.
That I can stop what's going on in my country now. Not only talk about what used to happen, but what could happen today. And that's the reason I'm doing it. So that ambassadorship is kind of a fun thing.
That is so great. I'm so happy to hear that. And Russell Simmons, you have really made such an impact on society in so many ways. We thank you so much for being with us this morning on New Mexico Style. We'll be watching your show on Oxygen.